I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Yo, what it do? It's your boys Juice and Lou, and we back here with another episode for y'all. More football talks now that we got the drafts over and done with. We got some news for you guys, especially some news for me. AFC North, Cleveland Browns just recently got Jadeveon Clowney a couple of days ago. And
Big boy.
we're gonna really dive into it to see who really how does that make the Browns? Does that help the Browns at all? Does that make them a contender? Does that help them take the AFC North? Hey, we're gonna dive into it. But Jay Lou, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go first. How does this affect the Browns?
Yep. So the Browns got Clowney and Myles Garrett now on the line, and I think that's a big plus for them because Myles Garrett, he's only one person on that line. They already had a good defense, in my opinion, but Clowney, he's another run stopper on the other side of the line. I'm assuming he would play defensive end for them, and they're looking to go linebacker in the draft. I see that they're looking at Jadeveon Clowney, linebacker from Tulsa right now, with their 26th pick in the draft. But if there's another player in Greg Newsome, who I had going to the Panthers in the mock draft, if he's there, they're looking at him. And they may go wide out, Rashad Bateman, but I had him going 20 to the Bears. So they have interesting choices at the 26th pick, but it was like they may go target Jadeveon Clowney. I feel like that would be a good plus for them at the linebacker position, a new young linebacker to go in with a solid defense. I mean, their defense, they had Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and the crew last year. They're a collective unit, in my opinion. Then on the offensive side, Odell Beckham missed the whole year, torn his ACL, so he'll be back next year. Hopefully it will be somewhat the same. And we got to see if him, Jarvis Landry, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Baker Mayfield can run it back again this year. But division-wise, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland takes the division over the teams in the AFC North. There's so many questions. I feel like the Browns, they don't have a lot of questions with their team. I feel like they can run it back again. They already know their identity on offense. They're a power run team. And the three other teams, they don't really have a strong identity that'll help them get that far. I mean, you have Baltimore. They're, of course, run first as well. But their running backs, J.K. Dobbins, he's solid. They lost Mark Ingram. You have Gus Edwards and Lamar, of course, all three capable of running, but none of them can run at the elite level like Nick Chubb as a running back. Then you have Baltimore's defense. They probably got the best defense, in my opinion, next to Pittsburgh in the division. So those two are two heavy defenses teams. I feel like the Browns are the most balanced team in the division. And then there's the Bengals, of course. They're still young, in my opinion. Take them like 3 years, probably, in my opinion, to get like anywhere near the top two. And so, like, the Ravens, they also have a lot of questions, coming into the season. Will Lamar have another weapon to throw to from the draft a wide receiver possibly? You clearly saw they didn't get nobody from free agency. They got some O-linemen, yeah, but they also lost some defensive pieces, like Judon left to the Patriots. So, and Calais Campbell's getting older on that line for them. But all in all, I think they'll be a solid team. Again, I wouldn't say I don't think this year will be their best year, in my opinion, because we don't know if Orlando Brown's going to be there either. He may get traded. So it may be an up and down year for them. And then Pittsburgh, I don't really believe in their offense coming up. Big Ben's getting old. I got to see how he plays like the first couple of weeks as an older quarterback coming to the league. They lost their center. They're probably going to draft a new O-lineman in the draft with their pick, the 24th pick. But all in all, I think the Browns, like I said, got the most balanced team in the division right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see Cleveland number 1 in the division next year. And they basically almost were this year. It's just the Steelers, they folded near the end a little bit, and they had that great start. So didn't really impact them losing a lot near the end. But Cleveland is definitely on the come up.
About the I don't think this helps the Browns at all because Jadeveon Clowney is not as effective as what people thought he was going to be. I feel like Jadeveon Clowney is only going to be effective when he's not guarded or because of the weakness of the O-line in this division. The Ravens O-line, I say he's probably going to be on like the left side of the field. So he's gonna run into Ronnie Stanley with us. So I say that's cool. But I feel like it'd be significantly easier to get through the O-line of the Steelers and the Bengals because they're not as talented, so it's gonna make him look better. But do I think it's gonna be if you put a good O-line or a good lineman as guarding him? It's basically just going to be like last year with Myles Garrett by himself again. I don't think Jadeveon Clowney is really going to help this team a lot. It's just a big name. It's just a name that's added that's not really going to do anything. But I'd say they'll be second in the division. Steelers are going to be third. You already know who I mean. Ravens obviously going to be first. Well, I don't want to say obviously, but I believe that the Ravens will be first. So, but the Browns is only going to be like, I say they're going to be like only one game behind because this is still a solid team, but it all depends on how Baker is on offense because you got one games that he'll be great. You got other games where he'll be average, and then you got other games where he just doesn't show up. So, he typically starts off, I say, not showing up to average, and then like towards the middle end, he'll start playing great when it matters. So it's pretty okay. It's pretty okay of a deal just because of the weakness of offensive line in this division. So it can make his stats look good. But overall, I don't think it's gonna matter for this team. I don't think it's gonna matter for this team. But I saw something. I was looking at something and it said, well, not related to this topic, but it's still regards to the AFC North. It says who's going to be the better quarterback in the next 5 years out of Burrow, Lamar, and Baker. And it was a lot of mixed answers. Some people were saying Burrow. I was like, huh. Some people were saying Baker, but Baker is like, well, it was majority Baker and Burrow, surprisingly, right? Because, everybody doesn't like, nobody's saying Lamar, only just a handful of people are saying Lamar only because of his play style. And they don't, it's not like a quarterback should play. And I'm obviously saying Lamar Jackson will be the best just because the game is evolving. People can't sit here and say, oh, you have to stay in the pocket and you have to take a hit if the pocket collapses. That's dumb. Why risk injury? If you're looking at people, you have to be mobile now. You have to be able to move now. You got Patrick Mahomes. He can move. He can move. He can run. He has options to run. Russ has options to run. Josh Allen. He rushes this almost the same amount as Lamar Jackson. Nobody's talking about that. Kyler Murray, especially. But it's only bad because Lamar makes running look good and because he's a quarterback. And then it doesn't fit. People just have to accept the fact that the game is changing. It's like football, it's like basketball. Curry came in to change the game. And that brings us back to another one of our first episodes, back before we were even doing this on YouTube, back when we was recording on Anchor. Shout out Anchor though. But when we were talking about who's the LeBron James and Steph Curry of the NFL out of Patrick Mahomes and Lamar, yeah, I know you remember that. That's why it's like Lamar is changing the game, and there's more mobile quarterbacks that's going to be coming out the draft. Everybody's not going to be a pocket passer anymore. That's just how it is. So I think in 5 years, God forbid an injury, Lamar will be the best quarterback of that division. Still, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. You can put your takes on it if you want. But yeah,
Lamar, in 5 years, that's hard to tell because Lamar. What do you mean by? I mean, best. I don't think he can be the best quarterback possibly, but I don't think in 5 years the team success, I don't think will be that much if Lamar's still doing what he's doing now. Because I'll say Joe Burrow will be the best, but it's gonna be hard now because the injury just had ACL, MCL injury, but that doesn't have to do with throwing the ball. That has to do with like his scrambling ability a little bit. I still think he's gonna come back, be a great thrower, great passer, whatever. He's probably going to be a better passer than Lamar in 5 years, in my opinion, too. So I'll say Joe Burrow has the most upside out of the 3 quarterbacks. Plus, the Bengals, they're a young team, and they're only going to get better with Joe Burrow. So I think their team success is going to go up in the future. So I would say the Bengals have more upside than Baltimore and Lamar. Because y'all are right now. Y'all win now. Lamar's only going to get older. What is he, 22, 23 right now?
23, 24.
So he'll be 28 in 5 years? I mean, Joe Burrow will be like 28 too. But the team around Burrow is young. They're young right now. Like Joe Mixon, T. Higgins. Their defense is only going to get younger with this draft coming up. And they got the 5th pick in the draft. They could get another wideout. That's what they're saying, even though I think they should go to line. So I think the Bengals in 5 years with Burrow, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the top dogs in the North.
We're just as young.
Who, y'all?
If you take out the D-line, we're just as young.
You can't do that, though. I mean, secondary, I guess, a little bit. I mean, y'all still have Jimmy Smith? He's kind of old.
I've been wanting to cut Jimmy Smith for years.
Marcus Peters is older.
Marcus Peters is like 28.
28. In 5 years, he'd be 33 off the team. Maybe retired.
But by that time, we can somebody else will come up. If you take, but you can say the same thing for Geno Atkins.
I'll give y'all linebackers over the Browns. Y'all linebackers scores better with Patrick Queen coming up. I'll give y'all that. Y'all got the linebackers, but the secondary is only going to get older. And defensive line said Geno Atkins. I mean, Geno and Calais cancel out. Who else is on y'all D-lines that a big threat? No one's a big threat to Myles Garrett. Not on y'all D-line. Now, if you're talking about the Steelers, they got T.J. Watt. But
no, I'll give you that. But that's about it, though. But we're good at developing. Well, except for receivers. But everything around, we're good at developing. So I feel like we can develop L.J. Fort. He's been playing good. Tyus Bowser, he's young. He's playing good. So we can do something with those guys. And that O-line, Ronnie Stanley, he's still young. What is he, like 24? Yeah, he's still young. And I feel like Lamar isn't in 5 years isn't going to be the best passer, obviously. But Lamar Jackson will be the best because he's saving jobs in Baltimore. He's saving jobs in Baltimore. If you take Lamar out our last 3 winning seasons were all negative seasons with anybody else. Or 8-8 negative seasons if it wasn't for Lamar Jackson. But if you take Baker,
I mean, the offense is catered around him, though, so of course.
Well, that's the point, because he's making things happen that nobody else is going to make happen. Even when people, quote unquote, figured him out, he still went 10-6 and won our first and won a wild card game against the team that beat us last year. So I'm not really. We're still. Every year is progress. Every year is progress. Lamar's still working on that contract. I don't think he's going to take nothing extremely crazy, because I know that he wants team success. He's going to want to bring people in if possible. But he should play significantly better because of the O-line should be back. Ronnie Stanley, we just picked up the lineman from the Giants. And Orlando Brown, I feel like we can trade him for another first-round pick. I feel like we can. I just don't know from who, though. But I feel like we can, and we can get another lineman out of that. Now, that's what I feel. I feel like Lamar Jackson will continue to be the best quarterback in that division. Probably the best quarterback in the league, because if we're talking about 5 years. Josh Allen, if I'm thinking top 5 in the next 5 years, Patrick Mahomes, clearly. Josh Allen. Because by that time, Tom Brady's out. Aaron Rodgers is out. Russell Wilson's out.
Josh Allen over Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson is going to be in there. It's not in particular order, but the top 5 is definitely Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun, Josh Allen, Lamar. Justin Herbert. In 5 years, when all the big dog QBs are out, those are the next top 5. That's the top 5 for the next 5 years. Yep. All right, you got anything to say?
Jesus. So you said Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Herbert, and Kyler?
And Watson. Deshaun.
Watson.
Yeah. That's going to be the top 5.
Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Lamar. That's toss up. I like
who's going to be better? Trevor. All right, that's going to wrap up this episode, y'all. You just said some nonsense. Well, we're about Trevor Lawrence, bro. Man, please.
All right. Y'all come back 5 years later.
That's going to wrap up this episode, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with all your peoples, and catch you on the flip side. But until then, it's your boys, Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace. Yo, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you know when we post next. All right? Peace.